Hey guys, this is Random Chaos with another video for you guys. Today I'll be discussing the Chargers off season so far. I'll just try to discuss as much as I can. Try to find ways or new ways to put out videos. So here we go. Um, so the first thing that the Chargers did in the off season, they released former first round pick DJ Fluker. He was our offensive guard slash offensive tackle from 2013 to 2016. We let him go after 3 seasons because he didn't develop right. We did everything we could. His footwork was horrible. His hands were horrible. The way he blocked was horrible. He allowed 14 sacks on Phillip Rivers in 3 years. 14 sacks. So that's a lot in 3 years. By releasing him, we actually saved $7.5 million in cap. So I think that's one of the main reasons we let him go, because how much his cap was. The next guy we released was defensive back Brandon Flowers after 3 seasons as a Charger. The reason we released him was not because he wasn't performing, but because he was injury prone. And the 3 years that he played for us, he was injured almost half the season. He was pretty much out for 9 games last season, and then in 2015 he was out for like 7 games. So he missed about almost 20 games in 3 seasons. So that's why we let him go. By letting him in his 3 seasons that he was with us, he was able to achieve 5 interceptions. But when we released him, we saved $4.5 million in cap. So that's one of the reasons we also wanted to let him go, because of his cap. So, yeah. The next guy we released was wide receiver Stevie Johnson. After 2 seasons with the Chargers, he was just injury prone. He only played 13 games out of 32 games that he could have played. He didn't really do much for us. We actually just signed him as far as, for depth and shit and stuff like that. So we ended up saving $3.8 million by letting him go. So pretty good on that. The next guy we let go was left tackle King Dunlap after 4 seasons as a Charger. He allowed 11 sacks in 4 seasons on Phillip Rivers. He's a big guy, big mauler type of guy, but he has horrible hands, horrible footwork, horrible motion, and everything. The only good thing to him is, like, motherfucker's tall. He's 6'9" guy. So but other than that, he really did suck. There was times where he would really shine, especially against Denver. He actually allowed only in his 4 years that he was with us, he only allowed 2 sacks when we faced Denver. So he did really good with against Denver. When we released them, we actually released $11 million in cap when we released them, because he was due just this upcoming season. He was due to get $9 million plus $2 million in signing bonuses. So that's $11 million. So that was the last guy we released, I believe. We re-signed safety Jalil Adai to a 4-year contract worth $22 million. With $12.5 million guaranteed. I feel like this was a good signing, but a bad signing at the same time. I don't think that Jalil Adai is he's not ready for that type of money yet. Because he was injured for like 9 games last season, and the year before that he was injured for 4 games. But when he does play, he's a really, really big impact. Like, I believe last season, although he was injured for like 9 or 7 games, he was ranked 2nd or 3rd behind Earl Thomas on yards allowed on the run as a safety. So that's really good. Not really big of an interception type of guy, like a ball hawk guy. He's more of a run stop type of guy. So we re-signed him. Like I said, the Chargers ended up tenderizing 7 players for this upcoming season to a 1-year contract for them. They ended up tenderizing Adrian Phillips, safety and Adrian Phillips, Running back Andre Williams, tight end Sean McGrath, wide receiver Dontrell Inman, inside linebacker Corey Toomer, quarterback Kellen Clemens, and cornerback Trovon Reed. I kind of do like all these players. The only guy I still don't like, and I've never really liked, is Kellen Clemens. He's just a horrible quarterback. Even when he was a backup, he's just horrible. I felt like we could have gone out there and, if not drafted a quarterback, maybe would have gotten somebody in free agency. I mean, there were so much people that were, available. But I guess, they thought that Kellen Clemens was the answer at backup. Either way, we ended up re-signing our long snapper and Mike Wint to a 4-year contract worth $4.4 million. He's only guaranteed $2 million, so that's not that bad. It's not the best long snapper, but he's he's okay, I guess. So that's one of the parts that we did. We also relocated to Los Angeles in January of 2017. Early January, I think we relocated like around the 19th of January or around the 11th, around there. A lot of fans were really pissed off. I can say, you know what, San Diego, screw you. And I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm saying it because you know what, I was born in San Diego, so I love San Diego. Been there a couple of times. Love it. Love the beach. Love the just the atmosphere there. A lot of nice people there. The only bad thing about it is that they had 20 plus years to try to get a new stadium or try to renovate Qualcomm Stadium, and they just kept denying it and denying it and denying it. So the Chargers got fed up with it and left. So the Charger people who live in San Diego, this is you guys' fault. You guys have the chance to vote for a new stadium. You guys needed 51% in November, and you guys were only able to total 48% in November. So you guys lost your chance. Los Angeles is a new home for the Chargers. Am I happy about it? Hell yeah. Why? Because I'm closer to it. I'm now 4 hours away from it instead of 6. So the next thing we did was we released Mike McCoy as our head coach on January 1st of 2017. 11 days later, we signed Anthony Lynn, the former assistant head coach for the Bills, as our new head coach on January 12, 2017. He is the first African American to be the head coach for the Chargers. So congratulations to Anthony Lynn. The Chargers named Gus Bradley as their new defensive coordinator on January 20th, 2017. Bradley announced himself 2 days later after he was chosen as the defensive coordinator that our team would be switching from a base 3-4 defense to a attacking 4-3 defense. So I expect Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram to do a lot better together. I feel like we're gonna have a beast defensive line with on the outside we're most likely are going to have Ingram and Bosa, and in the inside as defensive tackle we're gonna have Mebane, and nose tackle we're probably gonna have Corey Liuget. So I'm pretty excited about that. So the next thing is that the Chargers ended up signing left tackle Russell Okung to a 4-year contract with $53 million, with only $13.25 million guaranteed. The way Okung played last year with the Broncos was horrible. Allowed 3 sacks on Simeon and 1 sack on Paxton Lynch. That's too much out of a big guy like him. He's 6'7", 6'8", around there. His footwork is actually pretty good. The only bad thing with him is that his hands are horrible. He can't block worth a crap. But other than that, his footwork's good. I mean, I've seen tapes of him. Hopefully he ends up being one of our best offensive tackles. If not, I'm gonna be really pissed. And oh man. Either way, let's go to the next thing. The Chargers ended up bringing back defensive tackle Damian Square to a 2-year contract worth $3.3 million with $1.5 million guaranteed. Damian Square played really good for us, especially when Mebane went down. He got 2.5 sacks for us last season. He only started, and this is only him starting 4 games. He didn't really play last year. He only played in 9 games, starting three games, I believe. So when he did start 3 games, this is where he got his 2.5 sacks from. So I'm actually pretty happy about him. I feel like we're developing him really good. The next thing we did was for the draft, we ended up drafting Mike Williams, Forrest Lamp, Dan Finney, Rashawn Jenkins, Desmond King, Sam Tevi, and Isaac Rochelle. So we ended up drafting those guys. And we also ended up signing running back Kenjon Barner out of Oregon. He came over to us from the Eagles. So I don't know why we would need another running back when we have like $7 billion. I mean, for fuck's sake, we got Melvin Gordon, we got Andre Williams, we got Braden Oliver, we got Dexter McCluster, we got Kenjon Barner, we got Kenneth Farrow, we got what's his name? No, we even got Ronnie Hillman still. So we got so many running backs. So, I feel like this year could be a year that we contend for the playoffs. My prediction this year is for if we have a winning record, the Chargers have the capability of going 11-5. But if we have injuries like we did last year, we're possibly going to go like fucking 2-14 or some shit like that. I'm really excited for this upcoming year. We have a new defensive coach, a new head coach. We have basically a whole bunch of new coaches. And I'll be making another video for you guys about who our new coaches are later on today. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching and stay classy.